All right, we're back with Chapter 6, Lesson 5, Application of Percents. Salespeople often work for commission. Now, commission is something, a commission is a fee paid to a person who makes a sale. So if you're working on a job, there's some types of jobs where if you sell a bunch of stuff, you get paid a percentage of the amount that you sell, and that's called commission. It is usually a percent of the selling price. This percent is called the commission rate. Often salespeople are paid a commission plus a regular salary. The total pay is a percent of the sales they make plus a salary. So this just talks about the commission. We have the commission rate, which is usually in the form of a percentage, and then you convert that percentage to a decimal, multiply it by their total sales, and that equals their commission. Okay, but it says their total pay is, which means equals, a percent of the sales they make. So that's their commission plus their salary, whatever that is. So that's usually how salespeople, figure out how much you get paid. You get paid your commission, which is a percentage of your sales plus the salary. But there are some jobs where their total pay is just straight commission. You don't get any salary. It's just if you sell stuff, you make money. If you don't sell anything, you don't make any money. So there's certain jobs like that. Okay, let's look at a couple of these examples and see how it works. So the first one, example 1, we have a real estate agent is paid a monthly salary of $900. Okay, so that's their monthly salary plus commission. So we know that they're getting paid a monthly salary plus commission. Last month, he sold one condominium for $65,000, earning a 4% commission of the sale. So that means they get 4% of $65,000 plus the $900 salary. Okay, the first thing they ask us is how much was his commission? And then the second thing they ask us is what was his total pay last month? Okay, so if we want to determine the commission is equal to the commission rate multiplied by the sales. Okay, so the commission, I'm just going to say C. The commission rate is 4%. So we're going to change 4% into a decimal. So if we have 4%, we're going to move it over 2 places, 1, 2, to the left to make it into a decimal, which is going to be 0.04. So it's going to be 0.04 times the amount of sales. Well, he sold a house for $65,000. So to determine the commission, we're just going to multiply those two things. I'm going to take that over to the side. 65,000 times multiplied by 0.04. So 4 times 0 is 0, 4 times 0 is 0, 4 times 0 is 0, 4 times 5 is 20. Write the 0, carry the 2. 4 times 6 is 24 plus 2 is 24 plus 2. 24 plus 2 is 26. Then I just need to count up the decimal places. So there are 2 decimal places here. That means my answer needs to have 2 decimal places. So the commission earned, when you go 0.04 times 65,000, the commission earned was $2,600 for selling that house. That's pretty good. So how much was the commission? The commission was $2,600. Very nice, nice, nice. Okay, then it says, what was his total pay last month? So total pay is going to equal the salary plus the commission. So if the salary is $900, which it states here, $900 plus the commission, which we just figured out, which is $2,600. We're just going to take those two amounts and add them up. 2,600 plus 900. 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 0. Not 6 plus 9 is 15. Write the 5, carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. That means that the total pay equals $3,500 for the month. All right. There you go. So now it is time for you to check it out. So let's go ahead and look at example 1. I want you to go ahead and work this one out. When you figure it out, go ahead, pause now, and when you finish the problem, press play, and we'll talk about it. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, we are back. Let's go ahead and check it out, example 1. This states a car sales agent is paid a monthly salary of $700. So they get a monthly salary of $700 plus commission. Last month, she sold one sports car for $50,000, earning a 5% commission. Very nice. Okay, we need to know 5% commission on the sale. How much was her commission? So we need to determine that. And then what was her total pay last month? Okay, so remember, whenever we're determining commission, commission is found by taking the commission rate and multiplying it by the sales, the total amount of sales. So I'm just going to use C for commission. The commission rate is 5%. We're going to go ahead and change that 5% into a decimal. That means we move it over, the decimal place over twice to the left. Okay, that would be 0.05, and then we multiply that by the total amount of sales for last month was $50,000. So I'm just going to take these two off to the side and multiply them together. 50,000 times 0.05. And when I multiply those, I go 5 times 0, which is 0, 5 times 0, which is 0, 5 times 0, which is 0, 5 times 0, which is 0. That's a lot of zeros. 5 times 5, which is 25. It's 25. So then what we're going to do is, since we're multiplying decimals, we're going to count up the decimal places. There's 1, 2 decimal places. So that means our answer has to have 2 decimal places. So we put the decimal right there. And that means that our commission ended up being $2,500. That is quite a commission. Okay, so there we go. Commission equals $2,500. Okay, now we need to determine the total amount of pay. And if you remember, the total amount of pay is found by taking the salary and then adding the commission to it. So the salary, if we look back at the problem, she got a monthly salary of $700. So it's going to be $700 plus the commission, which was $2,500. And we just add these two things together. So I'm going to do that off to the side. $2,500 plus $700. We add those. 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, 5 plus 7 is 12. Write the 2, carry the 1, and then we have 2 plus 1, which is 3. So that means that the total pay ended up being $3,200. Total pay. There you go. That's the answer. If you got the commission being $2,500 and the total pay being $3,200, yokodenki mashita. You did a great job, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.